back to Beauty Bee. So today what we're going to do is rank my lip products. It turns out that I have 17 lip products. I'm going to be talking about glosses, liquid lipsticks, bullet lipsticks, anything else. That's really the only 3 categories that I personally have. And we're just gonna talk through them from worst, which will be over here, to best, which is going to be over here. Okay, so my least favorite lip product is this very dark, it looks brown in the tube, it comes off very like a vampy deepened red violet on my lips. I don't think that this applies particularly nicely. It tends to look a little bit patchy, takes some building up. It can look nice, but I also just don't think it's a great color for my skin tone. So that's a no for me. And this is a Sephora cream lip stain. And I will put the names of everything in the description box because I do not know the shade names of particularly these lip creams off the top of my head. The next product is this e.l.f. matte lip crayon, and this is in the shade Berry Sorbet. It is actually a very pretty color. I think I will be putting lip swatches up for everything, but I have colors that are similar but a little bit better for me, and I really do not appreciate the formula of this very much. I find it a little bit dry, and for how dry it is, I do not feel that it lasts particularly well. So that ends up near the bottom as well. Now we're moving on to this Wet n Wild Mega Slicks lip gloss. This is in the shade Great Correlation. I just don't care for this. That's not in a bad way. I don't dislike it. It's just a pretty much clear gloss that doesn't pull quite as peachy as I would really like it to. So that is how it has earned its spot near the bottom. Now we're starting to get into things that I would actually say I like quite a bit. I just don't love them like some of the other ones. This is the Revlon Super Lustrous lipstick in the shade Kiss Me Coral. It says coral online. It looks very orange in person, and it looks quite orange on me. And that's the only reason it's down here. It's a really nice formula, and I actually do appreciate this color. It's just not something I want to wear very often, and it's something that I often find I need to mix with other lip products, blot down, etc. to find wearable. Now we're on to this NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Vanilla Cream Pie. This is quite a bright pink, and it is a shade that is somewhat difficult for me to wear because it is so bright, and it can pull a tiny bit streaky if I'm not careful. Actually, I think if I had done this ranking 6 months ago, this would have been much higher up, but it has, because it's a pretty nice formula. I really do like these NYX Butter Glosses. They smell nice, they apply nicely, etc. But it's been dethroned by another NYX Butter Gloss that's in just a slightly better color for me. Here's another product that's moved down quite a bit in the last few months. This is the Wet n Wild Megalast lipstick in the shade Wine Room. Thank you, motorcycle. It is a bright pinky purple, and I do really like the shade of this, and I don't dislike the formula. I think it is just a tad bit on the stiff and tiny bit dry side, but the packaging on this is just awful. It always gets messy on the inside of the tube, which is weird because it's there's not, oh, sorry, there's not lipstick like outside the tube, but it always gets messy. And I know that there are these little cracks all along the bottom of the lid, and I just know that at some point this is going to break and it will get all over the inside of my bag or my floor or something. Not a fan. Everything past this, I would say that I really like to love. They're all beautiful. This is the Sephora matte lip stain in the shade Always Red. This is quite a bright, true red. It is about as true of a red as I have ever seen. And it's beautiful, it's just not a color that I find myself reaching for particularly often. So that's how it earned its spots in the bottom half. Next we move on to another Wet n Wild lipstick. And this is one of their silk finish lipsticks in the shade Dark Pink Frost. I don't think that's a very good name for this lipstick, really. I don't think this is a particularly dark pink, which you will see in the lip swatch. This lipstick is actually quite frosty, though not unbearably so, and it's really the kind of formula that you need the exact right color. So I don't know that I would just recommend this to everyone. I think that this particular color works quite well with my coloring, but it does look nice. My biggest complaint with this particular lipstick is that I feel like the color wears off, but then when you reapply, it's almost like you're adding more frost. It's like the frost sticks around, but the color doesn't. Next, for another Sephora matte lip cream, this is a Mauve nude on me. It's quite wearable. It's probably the most nude shade that I currently have. It's very pretty. It's just more of a utilitarian shade for me than a fun shade. You know, I don't get excited about using this in a look. I just do my eyeshadow and then I realize, oh, that's kind of a lot. I probably shouldn't go bright at all on my lips. And then I find myself reaching for this. This is the Maybelline Creamy Matte in the shade Almond Rose. I love this lip formula. I think it is beautiful. It is matte, but I think Creamy Matte is a really good descriptor. It wears nicely throughout the day. It is matte but not dry at all. And it never looks gross like a lot of matte lipsticks do. I don't love this shade. I think I've owned 3 or 4 of these over the years, and I've completely panned 2 tubes of this formula. But this color is just a little bit brighter on me than I think it pulls in the tube, and I don't find it super wearable for every day. I feel like this is a lipstick that I need to plan a look around, and I don't super love that for it being in their nudes line. This is one of my 2 Colourpop Just a Tints. This is in the shade Agogo. It's like a pinky red. It's nice. I like the formula on these. I do not particularly like the scent. I mean, it's not bad, but I think some people would really dislike it. I have heard it described as cat pee by more than one person, and while I have never owned a cat and cannot comment on that, I do see why some people would not like this. And the shade is very pretty, but I don't think it is anything particularly special. Next we have another Maybelline lipstick. This is in the shade Pink for Me, and it is a cream formula. This color is beautiful. It is a very nice, super wearable, easy nude pink on me. However, this has just a tiny bit of a waxy formula, which is why it is not even closer to the top. 5 more to go. We're getting there. Next we have a lipstick, again from NYX, and this is their Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Can. I think this is beautiful. It's a rosy nude. It's really easy to wear, both in terms of color. I feel that it's something that goes with pretty much anything, and it's soft. It's a liquid lipstick and it does dry, but it's not drying. I can wear these for multiple days in a row and have without feeling my lips are gonna fall off. I can reapply this over itself without needing to remove it. It wears pretty well throughout the day. I mean, it wears more like I would expect a bullet matte lipstick to than most liquid matte lipsticks to. It's really nice. It's beautiful, and unfortunately I think I'm gonna be running out of this pretty soon. Number 4, my other Just a Tint balm from Colourpop. This is in the shade Agogo. Oh, sorry. This is in the shade Chimichanga. The other one was Agogo. This is a orangey red, beautiful, love the color. That's the reason that's a little bit higher up than the other one, is just that this color is a lot more unique to my collection than yet another rosy shade. I definitely have a type if you have not noticed. This next lipstick is my favorite of my reddish shades. This is the Superstay Matte Ink in the shade Ruler. This is such a pretty color. It really does walk the line right between pink and red. It wears very well throughout the day. I think it would probably be number 1 or number 2 if it wasn't so sticky. Like, these are matte and they don't feel super dry, but they're kind of an odd formula in that they just stay tacky throughout the day. If you press your lips together, they will do the thing where they sort of stick and you have to actually pull them apart. But it's so pretty. I think I wore this 2 times a week minimum last fall and winter, and I imagine I will be doing the same once it gets a little cooler here. I mentioned earlier that I had another NYX Butter Gloss, and this is the shade Tiramisu. This is an even better formula than that bright pink. It is not streaky at all. It's so easy to wear over so many of these other lipsticks. It's very versatile, and it also looks great on its own. I really love this. And my final lipstick is my Flower Beauty Petal Pout lipstick in the shade Rosy Garden. It is a matte, and it is actually quite similar in color to both the Wet n Wild Wine Room and the e.l.f. Berry Sorbet, but this is a little bit more pink than either of them, which is the way that I tend to lean if you're looking over these shades. It's bright, the formula is beautiful. It does have a little bit of a floral scent to it, but I don't notice it on my lips after I apply. And honestly, I don't really mind floral scents. I know those are an absolute no-go for some people, but I think this one's very inoffensive. I love the packaging, I love the shade, and I've been kind of thinking about what I want to purchase with my budget in November, and one or two of these flower lipsticks are on my list of considerations. All right, there are my rankings. I will say that I do not have a lip product that I dislike. I honestly like every single one of these. I have used every single one of these, and I keep them around because I intend to continue to use every single tube that is sitting in front of me. I think they all have their strengths. I think they can all look beautiful, and I'm really happy with my collection. I think that this is a nice little range for me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you will consider liking and subscribing if you did. I look forward to seeing you next time. And until then, bye!